Hi, everyone.
Hey,
I'm Alicia,
and I'm Meredith.
and this is It's About the Pasta, a Vanderpump Rules podcast, season 10, episode 7.
Why do I
Uh,
feel like this is going so slow?
it is. Also, I hate that Summer House and Vanderpump are 1 week apart because I get
Bothers me
so confused
so
on what the episode is.
much.
Yeah, okay, let's just like dive right in. Let's
Let's
just
do it.
not waste any time. Okay, check us out on the A&M Podcast Network. We have this podcast, we have Summer is Fun, a Summer House podcast, which is also live if you didn't catch us trying to keep track of episodes. And we have One Season Wonders. Please be sure to rate, review, subscribe. Meredith, we have two reviews.
Really?
Two reviews on It's About the Pasta.
I love this.
Okay, so the first, do you want to end on a good or bad note?
Oh no, I want to end on a good note.
Okay, so the first review then is 1 star.
Okay.
It's from Inla123. It's titled Girls Missing the Point. And it says, you need to catch up on all other podcasts. Now, Inla, listen, is that your name? Let me reason with you. I don't know what this means. Are you saying that other people should go catch up on other podcasts? Are you saying that we need to go listen to other podcasts? Are you saying we need to go listen to like Vanderpump Rules related podcasts? I don't know,
Yeah.
but
Listen, I'm all about all the podcasts.
listen,
We're
we support.
we're
If
big
you
podcast listeners just in general. So like if you want to leave a second review and just let me know which ones, I'm cool with listening to some.
Yeah, and like just to be absolutely clear, if Kristen Doty is on the podcast, I listen to it at this point.
Yeah.
Um I've
But it's
also
hard to
listened
capture everything. Like,
yeah, I've listened to Sheena and Lala's regarding Scandival specifically. So I don't know like what we need to listen to, but I also can't listen to other Vanderpump Rules podcasts because then I think about how ours goes and I'll probably steal bits or something, and I don't want to do
yeah,
that.
no, I agree with that. I like want to
Um,
listen to like reporting on
yes.
Scandival, but yeah, I can't. I don't want to steal from other people just by accident. So yeah, but please go support
You go.
everyone.
Yeah, you everyone go listen to other ones. Especially Inla. You can leave our podcast. Thank you so much.
I told Alicia this actually.
Um,
I did see this review. Please don't announce your departure. I hate when people do that across the internet in general.
I
Um,
will not be eating here again.
I'm
Great.
good. You
10
That's
out of
okay if
10.
this isn't for you. We're not for everyone, and I'm okay with that.
We know that. Okay, and then we have one for 5 stars from Barely Mental. I feel that right now.
Yeah, barely mental.
It's titled just a smiley face, and it says, came here to hear about Scandival and enjoyed the show. Good flow and opinions. I dislike James and Lala a lot, so differ on some of that. But we'll be back to hear other shows.
Love that.
Thank you so much. And listen, I know James is horrible and
Yeah.
problematic. I know it. I can't stop loving him.
It's a slow
Um,
motion car crash for us
Lala
where we know
also,
no one dies, you know?
yeah, yeah. And like Lala, I get it. She has not always been for me, but
Hmm.
whatever. Do it. Who do you like? Let us know.
Yes, get in our DMs on our Insta. We love to kind of talk
We
about different
love
things.
to
I like
DM.
hearing the different perspectives because it helps kind of change my mind on some things.
Agreed. Okay. What do we do next? Let me think. Hang on. Give me a second.
I'm thinking it's our Patreon.
Well, first I plug Instagram at
Oh,
Vanderpasta. Follow us. I have not posted Vanderpump Rules tweets just because it is flooded with reunion tweets, and I'm trying to find them on
yeah.
the episode, and I can't. And so, give me a little bit of time to look around.
Vanderpump Rules is trending like everywhere
Golly,
and
got
still,
it.
and I love it.
And can I just say, it only bugs me. Listen, I'm all about if you want to learn about the drama, but please educate yourself. Don't be like, I get the gist because you don't. Okay. This is a 10-year issue that we need to discuss. You're not going to just get the gist. For example,
Yeah.
one of my friends who has seen maybe the first 4 seasons of Vanderpump, then stopped, was like, oh my God, Scandival, right? I'm like, I know. Can you believe blah, 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 in this reunion? And like Katie, and I said something about Katie, and he goes, oh, Katie Schwartz, right? And I go, Katie Maloney, they got divorced. And he goes, they did? And I
Oh,
was like, that's an intricate part of Scandival.
yes. Yes.
So feel free.
That's one thing that this love triangle has different than the original love triangle is there are many more layers to Scandival.
So I'm all here for everyone joining the drama, but you better be fully educated.
Yes.
I'm over
absolutely. And we can help you educate you.
Yeah, we're happy to. If you would like us to do a whole pre-show on the history of Scandival, I am more than willing to put together a PowerPoint.
I am also willing to individually pull some great TikToks before that burns down of different people's like flow charts. Just find a good flow chart.
Amazing. Yeah, a good simple flow chart so you can understand the dynamics.
Yes.
Okay, now it's Patreon. Patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Join it. Let me tell you what you can get. For $1 a month, you get access to our fun pre-shows where Meredith and I do and say whatever we want. Because people can't write reviews on pre-show. No, I'm just kidding. But then also you get access to any episodes we record early, including this one. For $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, when we go back and watch old seasons, you get access to our after shows. So we can talk about current Bravo news without spoiling it on the podcast. We're obviously not doing that right now.
Imagine if this all went down in the off season. That's where it would have been. It would have been on the post show. So like reason enough.
Yeah, to listen. We'll talk about it. And then also we will say your name on the podcast. So thank you to Chris, Danae, Dee, Dustin, Gabriella, Jackie, Jamie, Casey, Katie, Kelsey, Chrissy, Sarah, Cameron, Tierney, Tiffany, Tonette, Tracy, Amy, April, Courtney, Emily, Gina, Jennifer, Kirsten, Christina, Ruby, and Taylor.
Woohoo!
Wow, that was a lot. And then for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, for our live shows, I will post and you will get to give us your thoughts, questions, opinions, concerns, whatever you want, and we will read it on the podcast.
Love.
Also, we'll pick a patron of the episode. And did I come prepared? No, but do I already know what I'm gonna do? Ooh. Yes, because I'm amazing. This week's patron of the episode is Tracy.
Yeah, Tracy.
Tracy left us a bunch of thoughts to go through, and I cannot wait.
Yay! Are they pre-podcast of the people, like the beginning?
I'm assuming. Listen, I got to assume they're all after because, as I have said, please, 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 only post stuff you want us to read on the actual post. Because then I have to go to multiple posts and like put them together, and I totally understand. But also I'm like severely hungover today, so I'm just not gonna do it. So I'm just reading stuff off the post. Even if it's from weeks ago, post it on my current post.
Yeah. The post of the week.
Yes. Great. Okay, is that it?
Yeah. Let's dive in.
Okay, so previously on Vanderpump Rules, we took a girls' trip to Lake Havasu. Katie is not going to Sheena's wedding because of the Tom Schwartz and Raquel thing, you know, pushing them to kiss, whatever. Raquel kissed Oliver, and then Lala told Raquel she wouldn't trust Raquel around her man, and Raquel said, good thing you don't have a man. And Lala and Raquel got into it, and Raquel called Lala a mistress, and then the Toms and James and Sheena were all doing guys' night, and James specifically said he didn't want to be around Raquel, but Raquel left girls' trip, and she showed up to guys' night.
Ooh.
Which, can we just say how much James has changed where he like leaves a guys' night?
I've never been more proud of him in my entire life.
I'm obsessed with him. Okay, so we get no intro song. We go straight in the episode.
I think because we left off with the to be continued, and I'm so tired of Bravo and the freaking to be continueds.
So we have guys' night. Raquel and Charlie walk in. James is so disappointed. He thought it was going to be guys' night. G-U-Y-S, guys' night. It's so good. He's so
giving
funny.
me so many good little bits that so just stand alone past their own episodes.
So James walks away from the table. Sandoval and Brock follow. They're all in the bathroom. James is just overwhelmed. You know, like this creates insecurities and untrust for Allie. Yes, he says like untrust, which I didn't know was a real word, but it is.
Oh, that makes sense because untrustworthy.
I guess. Untrust just sounds crazy to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that James doesn't want that in his relationship. Meanwhile, upstairs, Schwartz asks if Raquel is good, and Raquel just said girls' trip wasn't fun. And Raquel says Katie's mom was there, and Schwartz is obsessed with Terry. So he's like, that's my girl.
I like how he gets excited, and I feel like Raquel gets a little annoyed out of his excitement. And she's like, yeah, she loves you too.
Terry loves you, okay. But Raquel had to explain to Terry that she thought about making out with him, Tom Schwartz.
Which you didn't have to.
It sounds even more awkward saying it after the fact than watching it.
Yep.
Okay, so Sandoval is back upstairs. Everyone's back at the table, and Sandoval's like, Raquel, talk to me. What happened? And Raquel's like,
he is riveted, literally leaning forward. They always tell you like body language matters.
He's engulfed with whatever Raquel's
literally
saying.
Leaning forward on one arm, listening, and everybody else is like either half listening or like James, where he's just like checked out.
James is texting.
Yes.
So Raquel says she was being fun and young and single and living her life. And these girls set her up to make it seem like she's only going after guys that they're interested in.
I don't think it was a setup, but
Sandoval's engulfed.
I understand being annoyed that the minute you do anything,
the girls
people jump down your throat.
Yeah. So Raquel brings up the comment about Lala saying like she wouldn't trust Raquel around her man. Also, who's the editor that cut straight to Tom when she was saying that? Who's the editor? Who did that?
It's hard because they said that they weren't re-editing these things. So
that's why I want to know who's this editor. That's fucking hilarious. Who's the editor?
I mean, granted, he was the only one without, like, maybe production didn't know, but he's the only one who's truly listening. So like, I can see how they would grab this not knowing anything, but it's working out. If they did not touch any of this, it is working out so well.
It looks so good.
Also,
I wonder if one of the editors knew by the time they were editing it.
Oh,
it's shot and then it's edited and then it's aired.
Yeah. And sometimes I've heard from like housewives that sometimes they are still editing later episodes when it premieres.
Yeah.
So now that we're 7 episodes in, they could have still been like putting some final touches on this baby.
Mm-hmm. So Schwartz is proud of Raquel for standing up for herself. Charlie brings up that Raquel also told Lala that, you know, Lala's the one that fucked Raquel's boyfriend and Lala's a mistress. Meanwhile, James is not paying attention.
No. What I don't like though is like, if you're going to be like some tough girl in front of all these guys, you got to like bring the same energy to the actual person you're upset with.
I agree. And she did not bring that energy.
She's acting
she tried
such a bad bitch here. And I don't like that. Like, don't act like you did some grand thing and like really stuck up to Lala. Like, no, you were terrified.
I also hate, right, if Lala was defending herself, they'd be like, Lala, you're such a bitch, just because she can be more aggressive. Whereas Raquel, they're like, we are so proud of you for being a bitch.
Yes. Schwartz is like, wow, you must be so happy. Like, that's incredible. You did that for yourself. But you're right. There's such a double standard. If like Lala in that same conversation is standing up for herself,
if a strong woman,
think she's a mean girl.
It's one of those, like, if you're a strong woman, you're just going to get shot down constantly. Okay, yeah. So James is texting Allie. He goes, oh my God, Raquel and Charlie showed up. And Allie says, so leave. And
it is annoying they showed up. Who do we know who invited them? Like,
no one.
How they knew about this?
Sheena said, like, I'm going to
Guys
this place with the boys.
And then obviously like production
they crashed.
Yeah. Okay. And or Sandoval maybe texted Raquel.
Gross. So James is upset. It's not a boys' night. He thinks Raquel's trying to get a rise out of him, so he leaves. He does the smart thing.
I think this is great. And like we talk about sometimes on Summer House that like people not participating in things is boring. But I actually found this move interesting.
I did too, because it's not like James, but you can tell he doesn't want to argue with Raquel. And I think what we see throughout we will continue to see throughout the season is like James really feels out of place in this friend group. Like they're choosing Raquel over him. So I think he doesn't want to give anyone a reason to be like, James, this is why you're not invited to things.
Yeah, that's a good take. I didn't even think about that. I find it so interesting how calm he is and with him drinking. Like he's probably been drinking at this already. And I think he is handling his stuff so well.
I agree.
That I just want to give him props to that.
He said at BravoCon, It was one of those Watch What Happens Live after shows that we didn't go to.
Mm-hmm.
But he said something like, I have, like I have a really hard season. Like you're gonna see me really try and find my place and feel left out like I always have. So I
Oh,
think this is it. Like he feels, and we have seen him feel left out before. Like that's just
yeah.
a
It's
game
so
changer.
interesting. We'll talk about it actually later. I'll give my
Okay.
thoughts there.
So we go to Lake Havasu. Katie, Lala, and Christina Kelly are home from their drunk night out. It feels like a normal girls' trip now. They're heating up pizza, and then we find out that guy Don from the bar is coming over for Lala.
Mm-hmm.
And Lala's really nervous. It's very cute. And Katie's like ready to be a sex coach. She's ready to take this on. She's like, single sex can be so fun. Cut to 3 weeks before when Ariana is like, how is it out in the world? And Katie's like, lit. Tons of dicks.
I'm happy for Katie and her journey, and I love her, like wanting to support Lala. It's not coming as natural to Lala or like as exciting for her. And so Katie's like, you know what, I will do anything I can to like let you be as happy as I am out in the wild.
Yeah. You can tell she's very nervous. And Christina Kelly's trying to be like, you don't have to have sex with him. You can just like hang out with them if you want. Katie's like, no, we're
He's
having
not
sex.
coming here to talk.
We're having sex. So Lala's really nervous. She hasn't had sex since she conceived her child. And she says, surprise, sex wasn't that good with Randall. But like also I feel like she really tried to make us think it was for a long time.
I agree, but also then like what like kept you with him before Ocean? The money?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just so curious like how it started and continued then, because I feel like Lala, this would be a really important thing to her.
Yes.
Um
She
so
hasn't even had a real orgasm since 2016.
that's wild to
Wild.
me.
To the guy you're married to, I'd be like, listen, before I say yes, we're gonna have to learn a few things.
Yes.
So the guy is here, Don. He changed because he had to wash off all the BJs, and I literally went, "Ew, why would he say that?" I forgot the bar's name was BJ.
Lala did too. She was like,
Yeah.
excuse me?
Yeah, I was like, what a fucking weird thing to say, but I get it. Okay. So they all sit on the couch. It's getting kind of hot and heavy. Him and Lala are talking about hot and sticky and warm, like whatever. And I'm like, why are Katie and Christina Kelly here? Why don't they leave? They need to have left. Right?
Yeah, I'd hate to be this. Like, I hate to be on the sidelines of these moments. You're like,
Horrible.
I'm really happy for you, but I've never felt more, because they're on either side, or Christina Kelly and Katie are on either side of the couple.
They like can't even chat like without hearing it. Like it's
yes,
so weird.
and like if you get up and leave, it's super obvious and weird, which you don't want to then like put weirdness on like more weirdness on Lala.
Mean, that's what they do. They're like, we're gonna go. Yeah. And Lala's like, we're also gonna go upstairs.
Oh my God, this
like,
walk upstairs, all four of them. I'm like, no.
I'm nervous. And then Don says, don't get nervous when it's time to get service.
Good God. I needed like Lala and the boy to like sit on the couch and like kiss a little bit and then go upstairs. But like all four of them walking upstairs was just, it felt like Lala was about to like bang this guy in her parents' house.
Yeah, it was weird. But I mean, like,
so happy for her.
Lala's vagina's back, baby.
Seriously.
So the next morning in Lake Havasu, the girls are up. Lala says it was the best sex ever. He was hung like a motherfucking horse. And they probably assumed that guy's night sucked. Katie did send Schwartz a picture of the pinata and he answered. But yeah, so basically Raquel sucks. Katie doesn't want to be friends with her.
Yeah, I'm proud of Katie for trying to still be open to a friendship with Raquel despite the stuff in the conversations about Raquel and Schwartz. Like, I think Katie was really trying to give Raquel the benefit of the doubt before, and now it's like,
Raquel, sorry,
we're done. So no, you're good. It's hard not to. But it's like it's done. This is not going to be a friendship mutually. Yeah,
it's over. Okay, so then we go to this store with James and Allie.
I thought of you the whole time I was watching the scene.
Funny. Listen, I love the idea of getting my tarot cards read, which is what they're doing. I just don't think it should be by this dude in this store.
Like, would you go to someone I don't want to say the word trusted or believed in, but like
I'd
you
go to
once,
anyone. No, I'd
okay.
go to anyone.
I don't think I'll ever pay my own money to do this, but if there's like a party and this is happening, I've actually done this at a party now that I'm realizing. Don't remember what they said, but like if it's like a fun thing at a party, I'm in. Like,
Yeah,
I'm just
my friend's mom learned how to read them and she read mine and I was like, that was great. Thank
yeah,
you.
I don't want to spend my money on this personally.
But yeah, Allie's so fucking funny. She's like, this is so exciting. I'm like, I wonder if the moon's in Leo. This is
Yeah.
wild.
I love that James is so skeptical and he's
Well,
like, but
James
she
is
loves
new.
this.
James is new to it. Allie's really deep in it. Her
Yeah.
goal is to be a full-time astrologer and give readings. And then she says,
Wow.
so like fun things to note. James's Venus is in the first house, and so is his Sagittarius. So he's a lover, whereas Allie's an Aquarius in the 12th house of hidden secrets. So basically, this is Harry Potter.
Somewhat.
I'm
There's
very excited.
I've had my chart read. I did it at a girls' weekend and like I have a picture of it, so I'll show it to people who are into this type of stuff and they'll say stuff to me and I'm like, great. There were some things that
What
really
is
did track.
the 12th house of hidden secrets?
So it's a giant circle is what your
No,
chart looks
I
like.
don't actually need you to explain it.
But
I
I'm
know.
just saying the 12th is like, so there's one for each month. There's a different section for each month.
Oh,
So where were these planets when you were born is all what it's talking about.
I don't even know what time I was born. My mom says sometime in the morning.
You
And
do need
that's
that
it.
if you want your chart read because it is on the dot. Where were these planets?
I'll never know because my mom and dad don't remember the exact time I was born. So
Actually,
whoops.
mine was wrong.
Oh, dope. Yeah, no, for real. That's great.
As long as you're like
Um,
within a few hours, like the planets don't move that
yeah,
quickly.
yeah, yeah. Great. Okay, so it's a couples reading. James kind of at first looks like he's trying not to laugh, which cracks me
Yeah.
up. There's something about them being twin flames, and then there's this card telling James to walk away from relationships that don't serve him. And he's like,
Yes.
wow, that is so on the nose because of Raquel. And then he says in his interview, like Raquel's ruining everyone's relationships and people only point the finger at him, but we should point the finger at her. And I
Ooh.
was like, Jesus, hell, this man, he's so good.
This would be really tricky to navigate, actually, like being in a friend group with your ex. I'm so thankful I've never had to do something like this.
Actually, I was just thinking that yesterday. I was talking about it with someone, and I was like, yeah, I never would. I would have to move. Like, I just,
I would want my significant other to be a part of my friend group, but if something happens, like their loyalty
you're
is to
out.
me. Yeah.
You're out. Yeah,
Like
bye.
don't be so close that
Yeah.
we can't see you again. Actually, I just learned that one of my friends, ex-girlfriends, blocked us all on Facebook and I was so sad, but now I'm thinking that's
I
probably really
get it.
healthy.
That's what she needed.
Yeah, like remove yourself completely.
Okay, we go to Pump. Lisa's here to talk with the Tom Toms. They're like, we heard Vegas was crazy, and Lisa's like, great, let's talk about business. So Lisa wants to know if the boys are gonna take her up on her offer. The Toms say no, they're not gonna be bought out of Tom Tom. Also, they're gonna stick with Greg because Schwartz is gonna sell his house, so he'll get another few thousand
Like,
dollars to spend, which they need 50K more.
oh my God, these are so many red flags. I think it's smart of them to not take their buyout from TomTom because that is their future if this all
Yeah,
goes
I
to
also
hell in a
think it's
handbasket.
smart to not have Lisa buy Greg out.
I'm happy that Lisa did not buy Greg out. It's weird because they constantly are flip-flopping though on like liking Greg, disliking Greg, all their thoughts on him. It's kind of hard to know what team to be on when it comes to Greg.
I think Schwartz likes Greg. I think Sandoval doesn't.
But then they kind of have to be a united front.
Yes.
Um,
But Sandoval also didn't love working with Lisa.
yeah, that's true. That's true. So like
So,
Sandoval likes the freedom he gets with Greg.
yeah.
He just doesn't like that Greg is not maybe prioritizing the bar, which is so funny because Sandoval isn't either.
Well, he has a cover band to worry about.
Jesus.
Okay, they're also not on track to open on the 26th because they have Sheena's wedding. So they have to push it back to the 31st.
Which what you knew about this beforehand. I don't,
Yeah.
they're just not thinking through things like
Yeah.
they should.
Yeah. They're just like not it. They're gonna open up on the 31st. And Lacey's like, do whatever you have to do. Good luck.
Yeah, I don't think they take it as they're not really putting in 100% to make shit happen.
No, they like tweet the opening. Like Schwartz is like, we're opening the 31st.
She tells him to put it on socials because then they have to be held to it if you think about it.
Yeah, but also they're not, the chances of them not opening on the 31st are still high.
I don't remember everything that was going down whenever this all happened, like when they opened, but can you imagine? I think we would have known. Like, can you imagine if they tweeted out that they were going to open on a date and then like 2 weeks later be like, just kidding, new
Never
date is,
mind.
that's very them.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so then we go to Sheena and Brock's apartment. They missed their daily review yesterday. Which
What are you talking about?
I guess is a checklist they do where they like kiss for a minute a day and then
I hate this checklist. There's so many things on that board that are not checked off. Like you have too high of expectations for yourself.
Brush your teeth on it and fucking Brock. What the
I love
hell?
that Sheena's like, I don't need to check that off. Like I just do it every day.
Sheena recognizes that her first wedding, she was hiding the truth about not like everything being perfect, which is very Sheena. She always comes across as very like everything's fine, everything's perfect, but we know that not to be true. And she thought it could be until he bought more drugs. Shay being he.
Ooh, that was a rough period in Sheena land.
Oh, that was really bad. Do you remember the whole like Shay's sober, but like I don't want you to be lame?
Yes, the like you can have some drinks. That was such a bit.
That
What
was
that?
awesome.
Season 4?
That was so funny. I don't even remember.
I mean, when they were in either Mexico or Hawaii, and we were like, okay, so they can do shots together. He can't do them separate. He can have beer,
that was
but not
so
too many
funny.
shots.
That was so funny. Okay, but yeah, she was excited for this wedding because this is her forever. Then her and Brock kiss for a whole minute.
Gross.
I wanted to die. Jamie, then, who's Sheena's bridesmaid, is calling to tell her that the resort is fully sold out. And Sheena's like freaking out because this is a bridesmaid and the bridesmaid needs to be at her resort. So she's like, oh, like, I don't know what we're going to do. And Brock's like, oh, isn't Katie not coming? Maybe you can buy Katie out of her room. And then Sheena's like, oh, good idea. And I was like, why did Jamie wait 2 weeks?
I need more background on this. If you're gonna make a problem, please tell me why I should be invested in this problem because I'm not rooting for Jamie to be at the hotel.
No, Jamie, listen, if you're a bridesmaid, you do not book the hotel.
The minute if you have a destination wedding and you are a bridesmaid, the minute the bride books the venue, you book your hotel room.
The bride will send you, here's the hotel.
The room block. Yeah.
You immediately book it. Immediately.
I don't understand. And then also I was thinking, why doesn't she just stay with someone else?
Yeah, I mean,
who's at the resort? I didn't understand why this was such a big deal. Because I could have found like other solutions.
I don't know. It's becoming the storyline.
I don't like this. I feel like this is a forced storyline, if I'm honest.
I agree. Okay, so we are at Tom and Ariana's now. Ariana's kitty throws up a hairball, which is so gross.
I hate animals. I thought this the whole time, and I wondered if you hated this as much as I did.
I hated it. Katie's here. Ariana invites Katie to the pool party on Friday because she wants to have fun after everything that happened with her dog dying.
Mm-hmm.
But Schwartz, Sheena, and Raquel will all be there. So hippie for Katie.
Yay.
We have bigger things to worry about though than this guest list because we have to worry about something about her.
I'm so excited about this.
They even gave Lisa their business plan to look over.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want Lisa to invest just because they really want people that are going to push them and like give them feedback. And Lisa would just be like, open it up. And they're like, we don't want that.
I like this. Like Lisa can be your mentor. She doesn't need to be your investor.
I agree. So hang on, Sabina,
who is the owner of the cookie dough thing.
What cookie dough thing?
You know, the like DEUX cookie dough.
Oh my God.
She's the owner of it. Yeah.
I love that. I've eaten it on this podcast before.
You have. I know. I thought of you when I saw Katie posted about it.
I didn't know that. So she's a business consultant. She's here to help them perfect their pitch for investors. She lets them know people connect with the human being, not the business. And they start talking about how the sandwich business is very male dominated, which I didn't think about.
Oh my God. That was
Jersey
eye-opening.
Jimmy John.
Firehouse Subs.
Yeah. very male dominated. So there's that. They also have a lot of experience in the restaurant industry. So yeah, they're gonna open up a sandwich shop that's gonna be owned by two hot women, and there's gonna be drinks.
Hell yeah. I cannot wait for this. I love sandwiches and I love cocktails and I love these two
I
ladies.
love sandwiches. I normally love cocktails. I don't today because I'm severely hungover. Okay, so they also looked at a cute space near Pump that's already basically set up for a sandwich shop because it has a kitchen and everything.
Yes, it's like a
Um,
second gen
mhm.
restaurant location. So not a lot of work.
So I think they found their location.
I love this. It's a very blank slate, but like that's where the vision comes in, you know, like cute
Okay.
wallpaper, like it's just very simple. And I think that's what a sandwich shop needs.
Yeah. Okay, then we go to Sir, where Raquel and James talk super awkwardly. And Raquel's like, "Hey, I saw you leave guys' night early." And James is like, "Yeah, I didn't want to make Allie feel uncomfortable." And
I
Raquel's
don't like
like,
this fake care that Raquel keeps giving off. She already accosted him
I
at Sir at the beginning of the season.
yeah, I don't either. Because now she goes like, "Well, we're gonna be in places where Allie isn't." And I'm like, when? She's always gonna be invited.
Yeah, and if she's not, it's because of like that night. It was boys' night.
Yeah, but like, right, okay. So I took it as Raquel's like, we have the same friends. We're gonna be going to places where like Allie's not gonna be. And I want to be like, but Allie will always be invited and she'll know when you're gonna be there.
Yes. Yeah. I
Like,
feel like she doesn't care about things in the moment and then gives this like fake concern of like, "Oh, I'm so sorry you left." And it's instead of being like, "Hey, I know this is probably tricky for us to be around each other. I hope we can get to a place where things aren't awkward and we can be in the same place."
no, stop being friends with your exes. Okay, so Raquel is like, yeah, I don't know if Allie's gonna go to the pool party at Tom Sandoval's. And James like, what pool party? And I was like, oh no, he wasn't invited.
This is hard. I've been in a moment where like you're constantly being told about plans, never
But
actually being invited, but then being
yeah,
invited because you were told about them. And it's so isolating.
it's sad. And
You feel
Raquel's
so
like,
unwanted.
I know, and to hear it from your ex. And she's
Terrible.
like, I know you're invited because Sandoval told me. And James is like, oh, did he?
It's so funny how much little like I'll call them Easter eggs, even if it's not truly like these like Sandoval and Raquel like hooking up yet, or like because they're together. She's saying this stuff. It's actually insane how much they are like
Yep.
one-on-one communicating if they're not hooking up already.
I know. Also, it's Ariana's pool party.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I don't like this. I don't like watching this stuff.
So James is sad. He feels like his friends ditched him and brought in Raquel. And then he has this quote where he says, I'm fucking James Kennedy, and I've been the life of this fucking party for the fucking past fucking 8 fucking years. Like, it's fucking bullshit.
You have James, this is your group. Don't let them push you out.
So they say bye. So now we're at Tom Tom. Ariana and Katie are here.
Logan is
Ariana,
their server.
it's a different Logan.
No, I don't think so.
Who's the Logan you're talking about?
Like the James Logan, like
No, this
Lala's
was a
friend.
different Logan.
Are you sure? I
Yes,
feel like
because I
we've
said
seen him.
Ariana invites Logan to her pool party, different Logan.
Oh, okay.
Not
Well,
James's Logan that he
okay.
hooked up with.
At
Different
least
Logan.
we've seen this Logan before this season.
Probably. He's like a Matt the bartender.
Yes, I'm loving these
Okay.
random side characters.
Yeah. So Logan's gonna come. Great. We also learn about cool culture, which is what Logan brings. And I didn't know this was the thing, but it's like cool culture, for example, is not getting your hands pruny when in the pool.
I
That's
love.
cool.
I understand. He
My
literally like
hands-
holds his hands up. Like,
Yeah.
yes. Ooh, nope.
My hands are pruny after a shower, let alone in a
Oh,
pool.
and I don't give any fucks.
I'm not cool culture. I know that. Okay, so Lisa's here. Katie and Ariana tell Lisa they drafted their letter of intent. So if they get the
Yay!
space, they're gonna be neighbors.
I love this.
And Lisa's so excited because like these are also kind of her kids, right? She's known them since they were children, which is early 20s.
Yeah. Wow, the flashbacks we get.
She's so happy she gets to keep her kids. Too bad the Toms didn't go to Lisa sooner. Haha. Okay.
I actually like her being like, these girls are prepping themselves, like they are being ready from the jump and not rushing into, like they are going to have everything ready before they even sign a lease, which is the opposite of what the boys did.
I also like that, right? They looked at the space and they're like, we won't have to spend money on making it a kitchen and
Smart
getting counter
decisions.
space. Like we
Yes.
have all that. That's perfect.
We don't need to create everything. We don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Also, I highly doubt they're going to take as long to decorate anything like Sandoval.
No.
Okay, so Lisa asked Katie about Mexico. Katie's not going to go to the wedding, but she can't get her money back on the room. So she's going to go on a vacation with Christina Kelly, whose birthday it's going to be. And Ariana's like, just so you know, there's like this thing with like one of Sheena's bridesmaids not having a room.
Mm-hmm.
And Katie's basically like, sex to suck, not my problem.
Well, she also says she had no problem adding Christina Kelly to her room. And so why couldn't this bridesmaid get added to somebody else's room?
I have a feeling, right? If you buy a single room, I also don't know, I don't stay in many hotels, but if you have a single room and it's for you and a boyfriend, right? And then you're like, can I also add this girl, Jamie? They're gonna be like, no, because you have a single room. But if Katie got a single room and she's not going with Tom, she probably was like, can I add?
Agreed. But there has to be somewhere out there that has 2 queen beds.
Also, do you have to add all the guests to your hotel thing? Maybe in Mexico at a resort.
I think because it's an all-inclusive, you need to really do it. You're supposed to do it with hotel rooms because sometimes they add like a per person charge. And so sometimes you want to get around that. But like for a resort like this, you're going to get a wristband every day. So yes, you have to have the same number or like the right number of people.
That makes sense. Okay, but Ariana invites Lisa to her pool party. Lisa declines, obviously, but thanks for inviting us.
Thank you.
So we do all these little scenes, like Schwartz is at Sandoval's house, Raquel is looking at Sheena's bathing suits. At Katie's apartment, Lala's talking about hating Raquel, and then Christina Kelly's putting makeup on, which is one of my favorites. I love when people put makeup on for a pool party because listen, now I know this is a thing we do, but if someone like, I don't know, 5 years ago was like, come to my pool party, I would never wear makeup because I'm gonna play mermaids in the pool.
Absolutely. Like the only thing I would do is I now have learned about tinted moisturizer, so like throw that on. But like mascara, absolutely not. That's gonna run everywhere.
Christina Kelly's doing something with a brush, and I was like, I understand she's not going swimming.
She's in the Logan category of pool goers, and we are in the cat throwing up the hairball pool goers.
Pool members. I'm playing mermaids. I think also LA, I would imagine a lot of these people have pools, like access to pools. I don't. So if you invite me to your pool, I'm
so excited. Yeah.
I'm pooling. Okay, so now we are at Tom and Ariana's house. Matt the bartender is here making drinks, which I want to know where fucking Sandoval is because his ass is always complaining about the drinks. So why are you making Matt the bartender as a guest do it, sir?
Well, he probably gave him the cocktail list and is like, keep proving that you can work at my restaurant.
I love Matt the bartender. Okay, so guests start to show up. James immediately feels awkward because Raquel's here, so he texts Allie like, have so much fun at work, love you.
Yeah, awkward.
At least Allie knows Raquel's probably gonna be here. Like
James is being actually an incredible boyfriend. I'm James, really proud of him.
I want to warn everyone, we're about to have so many serious conversations, and every single one that James is in, I laugh. I don't think it's that serious anymore.
Well, also, how is he the most mature person?
He is these days. Fucking funny. I can't. Okay, let's talk about it. I'm obsessed. So Brock brings this guy Joey, who's like a hotter version of Tom Schwartz.
Interesting.
And Schwartz is like, this is the guy that made out with Raquel at Coachella.
I'm more confused because I thought the new rumor is that Sandoval and
that was never confirmed by anyone in the cast. So it would make sense if it was this dude, right? To be like,
I wanted them
like Tom Schwartz.
To be honest, then I want a picture of them all together at like Coachella.
I agree. I also I'm just gonna throw out there where if I know the rumor got started, like Raquel's making out with one of the Toms at Coachella, and everyone was like, it must be Tom Schwartz. But like also, if I know one of the Toms, I'm gonna be like, it's not Tom Schwartz, it was Tom Sandoval.
Yeah.
Right? Like I don't know how we get those two mixed up. So to me, it makes more sense if it's this dude Joey.
Okay. All right, I'll back off
I
this
also
Sandoval rumor.
know nothing. You know, I love a good conspiracy. I pick a
This
side.
makes sense. So yeah.
This makes more sense.
And this was filmed before the drama was released. So
and if you know the Toms, you should know which Tom she's making out with. Just a personal thought. Okay. So Katie walks in and immediately Schwartz is like, do you smell? And Katie's like, I don't smell. And it was something about smelling like pickles. And I was like,
he asked her if she took like a pickleback shot, and she was like, no, I haven't.
Oh, he was saying she smelled like pickles. He's so fucking stupid. Okay.
I hate him.
Sheena and Lala then talk. Sheena tells Lala about the resort and like being filled and not having to talk to Katie about this room. But Sheena doesn't want Katie there because Katie will just talk shit about her dress with like last time when Katie, or not Katie, Stassi
Christina Kelly. Yeah. Which
they talk shit.
I chuckled a little bit, but like this is a valid fear because it has happened.
I get it, right? Because it has happened. And now this person that you don't like is gonna be at the same place as your wedding, right? I know for my wedding, no one I dislike is gonna be within 700 miles of me.
Well, like, can you imagine if they just happen to be staying at the same hotel? That would be,
yeah, I'd be uncomfortable, especially someone who has openly like talk shit on me about things regarding my wedding.
Yes. Yeah.
So I get the fear, but whatever. So Lala then says nothing on this, but brings up how she can't forgive Raquel and thinks Raquel is weak. And like this mistress comment hurt her. And Sheena's like, I get the mistress comment because I've been there.
Yeah.
I understand where you're upset with that. And I have your back on that.
I'm glad Sheena isn't like in this conversation hardcore defending Raquel.
No, the only thing she really says is like, Raquel's not weak, which I think is good. You stick up for your friend. I get that. But she's like, no, I think the mistress comment sucks. And then we get the scene between Brandy and Sheena that started Vanderpump Rules.
An incredible, iconic moment. There are 3 categories of Vanderpump Rules watchers. People who watched it from Beverly Hills into the premiere of the show. Yep. People who have watched it since like back in the day, quote unquote. So like a few years now. And then there are people who have picked it up in Scandival. And I just want to say, I am a OGer. I've watched it transition.
I do think now they don't start Vanderpump Rules like this.
No, you can't watch it like this. It just opens with that. We saw it where like this conversation was, I'll say, the middle point. And I think both episodes had it. But then you get Sheena walking away from the table. And that's when it starts the show.
Amazing. 10 out of 10. Okay, party's in full swing. What? Raquel's spray tan came off on someone, but then Sandoval has to take responsibility and be like, it might be my.
This is weird. I don't like this.
I don't either. So then James and Sheena talk. James asked Sheena what time he has to be around for wedding stuff because he doesn't want to.
I was confused at first because I was like, oh, is he DJing? Like, does he not want to spend time away?
I thought it was like groomsmen stuff. Like he has to leave Allie, right? But he wants to just let Allie know when he'll be back because, you know, she's in a new place. She doesn't know anyone. And like, I get this.
But then she says 6 to 11. And I'm like, AM, PM, what? And then we find out Allie's not invited to the wedding.
Yes. Allie's not invited to the wedding. James has mixed feelings about this, but Sheena says a lot of her guests are like that, which I also kind of get, right? Like, Allie and James were probably not together at the time of this. Didn't get a +1.
Well, okay. James and Allie have been dating since I think like January. This is August. I feel like they've been dating kind of long enough to be invited, and especially because we're filming the show, I would have felt more pressure as Sheena to invite Allie.
I don't know. I think also some weddings, like my friend's wedding, you don't get a +1 unless you're like engaged. Are seriously dating the person or married. Also, if she hasn't met your significant other, you're not coming.
Yeah, no, I get that. And I guess because it's a destination wedding, like a lot of people with destination weddings try to make their lists smaller too. But yeah, this is definitely an awkward moment, and I don't envy people who plan weddings to try and cut down lists.
And James feels like he's being backed up to a cliff because all of his friends are like keeping Raquel, but he feels like him and his needs are not being heard or met. which I get. My poor baby James. Anyway, Lala asked Katie and Christina Kelly, are we going out after this? Because like Don wants to hang out, but also Lala's mom is at home with her baby. So like Lala can't stay out forever.
Well, and she can't bring him home. Like they're not sleeping together at her home.
Yeah, and she's not like ready for a full-on relationship. She just wants to be around someone where it's effortless, and that's Don from BJ's.
I love this for her. Get it, girly.
So Raquel takes an Instagram video where she's walking around the pool. James talks to Lala, Katie, and Christina Kelly. And he lets them know that, you know, Raquel came to guys' night and was boasting about putting Lala in her place.
And she was.
Go, baby James, you do your thing.
Hell yeah, you fire these ladies up because you can't attack Raquel,
no,
but
he can't.
Like the girls can,
but they can
do it for you.
Yeah. So Raquel and Sheena then talk. And Raquel's upset because Christina Kelly was making fun of her galaxy lights. And Sheena tells Raquel that Lala called her weak. And Raquel thinks Lala's pathetic. Listen about the galaxy lights, because then inside the girls are going to say, we liked the galaxy lights. I think they were surprised by the galaxy lights. I think they weren't sure what they were looking at.
Here's the thing. The flashback we got to is Christina Kelly talks about the galaxy lights. They kind of snicker about it. And then Lala says like, oh my God, is she going to murder us tonight? I think the is she going to murder us comment was about encompassing like all of her actions. Like,
yes,
she is a weird drunk right now. Like what is happening?
Yeah,
and I don't think, yeah, like the lights was just another thing to be like, what is happening right now?
Agreed.
I don't think they were like mean girling so hard about the galaxy lights specifically.
I don't think they liked the galaxy lights, but I think that they didn't really care either way.
Yeah, I think they're now after that fact being like, really, we're being like chastised for thinking bringing these lights on vacation is weird. Like this really isn't something to fight over.
Yeah, agreed. So meanwhile, inside, Lala is saying she doesn't give a fuck about Raquel. Ariana is kind of like, hey, you guys, how do we stop this?
Ariana does such a good job of writing the middle.
She does. And I think she makes it clear, like, I'm not getting involved. It's not happening. So Christina Kelly wishes Ariana was there to see it. And Ariana goes, would you guys make fun of me if I liked the galaxy lights? And they're like, no, we liked the galaxy lights. But whatever. I think it was just more unexpected.
Yeah.
Ariana cannot believe Raquel would fight with people. That's crazy. But she does believe the mean girl pattern because that's happened before.
But it kind of goes back to what you said earlier, like them standing up for themselves are always going to be painted as mean girls.
I agree.
And however, I think they were trying to mean girl the galaxy lights. I think sometimes things shock you when you like laugh about it, but you're not trying to like make fun of something. You're just like, I was so caught off guard by walking into a room and there were galaxy lights.
I agree. We can agree that those three girls are closer, and Raquel probably felt out of place.
Yeah, the dynamic is definitely hard.
If someone before season 10 and Scandival was like, Raquel was fucking fighting these mean girls, I'd be like, no, probably not. But if someone was like, Katie, Lala, and Christina Kelly were being mean girls, I'd be like, yeah, probably.
Yeah, I just don't
think I think Ariana hasn't seen it.
This moment becomes like, it kind of feels like a little intervention-y, like between all the two different conversations of like, you guys are being so mean. I don't think it was that serious. Like, I kind of think Raquel is a little weak. Like, she can't just take shit and handle it herself.
I don't think it was that serious, but also if we weren't there.
Yeah.
I think that's like Sheena and Ariana weren't there. They're trying to stick up for Raquel.
Yeah.
So they have not seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we said last week, if we didn't know about Scandival, we might also be like, oh, that was like mean girl
I felt
behavior.
for her with the Oliver stuff. The rest of it, I'm like, all right, this isn't that serious.
I don't know why we're hung up on galaxy lights, but like whatever. But I think overall,
that's what annoys me. Why are we talking about the fucking galaxy lights?
I think overall, Ariana is like, it can be a pattern. Yeah. Okay, so Ariana said she's not done with the mistress comment, but thinks like maybe it's the James and Lala of it all. You know, like Raquel just found this out.
Mm-hmm.
Katie says Raquel should get her head checked. And Ariana's like, no, that's
those
not
comments
nice.
do need to stop. Like, that's
like,
not
that's
cool.
mean.
Yeah.
And I appreciate Katie shutting up and Ariana being like, no.
Yeah.
And then Sandoval steps in and he starts yelling at Katie about like how she needs to stop bullying and blah blah blah. And
I
then
was so
Ariana,
shocked Sandoval got involved.
why? And then Ariana literally walks away and she's like, Tom, we're not doing this. I'm not doing the Tom yells at the girls thing.
Yep.
And James again, I just want to be so serious. And James goes, oh, are we not doing that today? It was so funny. Like Ariana's like so pissed, and James is like, "Oh, we're not doing this today."
Sandoval
Okay.
just loves to be involved in things, and I can see Ariana's irritation when he just swoops in on something. Like Ariana was actually having a really good discussion. This wasn't heated with them. She was like telling the girls when to stop.
When
like,
Ariana called Katie out, it went fine. But
yeah, then Sandoval
just
just
had to be
starts
like,
yelling at them, and it's like, you aren't involved in this outside of sleeping with one of the girls. You
Ooh.
aren't involved in this.
So then Katie snaps back. She's like, it's like crazy. All of this is crazy. And Raquel is just standing behind Katie. And Lala goes, would you like to interject?
Yeah.
Don't just stand there, you weirdo. And Raquel goes, Lala, literally like, and then it takes forever. And Lala goes, come on, put a thought together. I know you could do it. I goddamn lost my shit.
I did too. I mean, they are so mean to her, but like, it's such gold. Like they know how to argue, and Raquel doesn't.
And also, yeah, if Raquel's like, Lala, literally like, and then stops, I'd also be like, finish.
Your delivery matters. Like nobody's taking what you have to say seriously right now.
But then Sandoval yells at Lala for bullying Raquel, which is so weird to watch this man stick up for Rachel like this. Then Raquel's like, well, Lala, you slept with James when like me and him were together. And Lala tells her to get over it. And Sandoval's like, no, Lala, you've gotten over it. Raquel hasn't yet. But then James steps in and he's like, this isn't about us. This is about something way deeper. Like what the fuck?
Stop bringing me into it.
Yeah, he like looks at Raquel and he does that thing where like, you guys were beefing before, weren't you? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, okay, great. So it has nothing to do with me. Leave me out.
Yeah, I kind of get it from him being like, stop hitching your whole argument on this one thing because it doesn't. It's not all tied to this event.
Yeah. And then James in his interviews, like, I would do it again. Fuck it. Which I love.
We've talked about this in past episodes. Like, I told you I need Raquel to get over this at some point. Like this can't be why she hates Lala the whole season, why she's upset with Lala the whole season. She
can't keep bringing it up
as the only thing too. Like
if she's gonna hate Lala for this, then hate Lala, but don't keep telling Lala this is why you hate her.
Yeah. So
Raquel calls Lala a bully and pathetic, and she doesn't need this. And she learned her lesson with James, and now she's learning it with Lala.
When she says this whole thing, her voice is so quiet, and Lala keeps just saying like, "Oh, are we done yet? Oh, okay, we're done." Yes,
so
and I'm funny. Like, "Oh my god!"
It's kind of funny. But then she says, "If you're gonna be Chihuahua followers, I'm done." Which that was not it, but good. And then James is like, keep my name out your mouth. You did it again. And James is like, I'm putting in such good effort. And I'm trying not to kill you, Raquel. And you keep bringing me up.
Yes.
Just keep my name out your mouth. And Raquel's like, well, you hooked up with Lala. And James is like, great, get out of here. He's literally like, I'm trying not to yell at you.
Yes. He's like, I don't want anything with you. We can be in the same building, but I don't want any connection to you. So stop bringing me up. Don't use me as part of your argument. Nothing.
The whole thing. So Ariana is basically like, this needs to get squashed today, you guys. And Raquel goes up to Lala again and says, we will never be friends. We will never see eye to eye. And Lala again is like, I get it. Are you done? Because Raquel does keep going, and Lala's like, I don't care.
It's one of those things where this argument and all this stuff means something to Raquel, and it means nothing to Lala.
No, until Raquel again says Lala gives off mistress vibes, and then she walks away.
Bimbo vibes. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? What?
And then that's when Sheena is like, no, Raquel, no.
It is really, I do think the mistress and especially the bimbo, like where did bimbo come from? But this is like a low blow because what she's tagging that to is the Randall stuff. I think it's a low blow. Like, this
I
doesn't need to
agree.
be part of your argument. When it comes to the James stuff, like, I can understand that argument and you bringing that up. Again, I don't want that to be your whole argument, like, is based on, but stop at the low blows and the name calling. Like, we are in 2020. Well, this was in 2022, but like, come on, what are we doing?
I think it's just a lot, right? Raquel cannot stop. And I understand she feels like she found her voice and whatever, but these people do not give a fuck.
No.
Just shut up. Shut up. Walk away.
She's just so bad at this. It's like comical.
Yeah.
The difference in abilities to like have an argument and like actually affect someone.
You want to get even funnier? In her
Yep.
interview, she says she leveled up from the girls' trip and she always wanted to be liked, but now she's facing off with Lala Kent and she's loving this new version of herself. And then she dabs.
You know what this tells me is that I think it's good that she is like stepping away from her people pleasing, but she has actually gone to the furthest extreme from it of not
Yes.
giving a shit about anyone, and we can see
Including
that
her
through
friends.
the Ariana, Sandoval, Raquel.
Yeah,
triangle.
also Raquel, if you're still fucking dabbing,
Also,
jump
come
out the
on.
window. Come on. It's not it. Okay, so James goes to talk to Lala, Christina, Kelly, and Katie because these are his people now.
Love. This is where the Katie and James front
Yes.
unites
I
right
love
at this moment.
I cannot wait for Katie and James to sit next to each other at the reunion. Like, I think that is gonna be pure fucking comedy.
Yes.
But like in the best way. So they talk about like this word bimbo is so fucking stupid. We need Matt, the bartender, to get us shots and some water shots. Because Lala is feeling herself. She loves a water shot.
Hell yeah. These are the vibes I need from Carl and Summer House. Like, take some water shots.
Take some water shots.
Have some fun, even if you're sober. Like, this is the proof that sobriety does not equal
lame.
Like, or being drunk does not equal having fun.
Yeah. And Lala's also a mom and she's sober and she's out in these streets having a good ass time.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so then the hotel issue gets brought up and Katie's like, what is this issue? So Sheena explains like, why are you coming to Mexico if you don't want to support my wedding? Can you just stay at a different resort? Katie's like, well, I'm going, and so is Christina Kelly. And Sheena's like, no, the resort is full. And Katie says, no, I called.
Yep.
I got her onto my
There's no problems here.
Thing. And Sheena's like, I just don't want your negative energy there. And Katie's like, it's a big resort. I can do whatever I want. And Sheena's like,
hit this argument wrong. If you actually want the hotel room, you don't say like, I don't want your negative energy, yada, yada, yada. Because Katie's going to dig in and never do what you want. Like, this is not how you get what you want.
I don't think, no matter what, I don't think Katie would have given out this room. Even if Sheena asked in the most perfect way.
I think there's a 1% chance they could have gotten this room, and Sheena doing the asking was never going to get it.
Yeah, 100%.
You need Ariana, Lala, other people to be like, hey, here's where we're at. Yes. Sheena's offering you $1,500 to buy your room out. And like,
agreed.
Whatever.
I mean, Sheena does offer Katie the $1,000 Katie paid.
But it's the exact amount for the room.
Yeah, you should have upped it. And then Sheena's like, well, Katie says no. And then Sheena's like, we'll see about that, and walks away.
That is also not going to get you this.
What are you going to do? What?
Like, call the hotel and get you kicked out? That's not going to happen.
What are we going to see about? So Sheena goes outside because she walked away and she basically tells Schwartz that she hates Katie. And Sheena is having a full-on meltdown because she doesn't want Katie's energy around at all.
This is like giving me brat vibes. Like, come on.
It is.
It's a massive hotel. Katie did have the room first, and it is non-refundable. Like, I think Katie's being stubborn here, but like, come on. It's not like she's out to ruin your entire wedding.
I think Katie's being petty, but I respect some pettiness.
Yes.
If you want to be petty, be petty.
I think if the room was refundable, this is worse. But the fact that it is non-refundable before, like, Katie wasn't being petty before she knew somebody needed the room.
Yeah. Now she's being petty. If she wants to be petty, she can be petty. That's fine. But Sheena like freaking out to Schwartz was not it.
No.
And so Schwartz is like, here's the solution. I'll get back with Katie. And only if she stays at another resort, which I was like, that's going to make her stay at the first resort more.
Also, fuck you,
Yeah, what
Schwartz.
a
You think you
fucking
can just
horrible
get
thing to
back with
say.
her and do whatever you want? No, she's the one who divorced you.
What a fucking horrible thing to say. Then Raquel's like, don't sell your soul like that. But also, like, it's not Schwartz's problem. Like, stay out of it.
I was thinking that. I'm like, Schwartz, why are you trying to fix this? I know you're in this wedding, but just don't say anything. Just support Sheena and be like, I'm really sorry, that sucks, whatever. But why does he have to then go bash Katie?
Hell if I know.
This is the person you are trying to stay best friends with, quote unquote.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, so then Ariana's like, what if you just ask Katie, like, what her price is? So Ariana goes inside and asks Katie, and Katie's like, no, I'm going to Mexico. And Christina's like, look, we aren't gonna like go to the wedding or anything or like look at it. But then we flash to 2 weeks later and they stand on their balcony and like watch the wedding.
I will say it is right in front of their face.
It is, it's like right
I
there.
would do this. Even if I wasn't, didn't know them, I would be sitting on my balcony watching this fucking wedding.
The whole wedding. Okay, so Schwartz enters the kitchen and is like, Katie, there's a resort right next door. And then he says Katie's stubbornness is one of his least favorite things about her. And he tells Katie she's in the wrong. And Katie goes, bottom line, I can do whatever I want.
Which is true.
And also, like, Sheena shouldn't be focused on Katie's energy the day of her wedding.
No.
So Schwartz is like, it's cool to be the bigger person. And then Lala's like, it's cool for Katie to care about Katie for once. And then Schwartz says, Katie thinks about herself a lot, actually.
Oh, this literally fired me up. I've never wanted to punch Schwartz so much in my face.
This was so rude. And then it gets worse because he's like, fine, don't do it for Sheena. Do it for your business partner. And Ariana's like, no. Do not bring me into this. Do not mention my name.
Like, Schwartz is trying to hold things over Katie's head on an argument he doesn't need to be a part of.
No, he should have said nothing.
I love that Ariana's like, no, you are not bringing me into this. This has nothing to do with me. Like, the only part Ariana is taking is trying to help her friend, but not by crossing a line.
No. And not to be like, Katie, do it for me. She would never say that.
She's just saying, hey, do you have a price? Can I help kind of like negotiate?
Can I help figure this out?
Yeah.
Okay, so Katie's basically like, how about I do whatever I fucking want? Yeah. And Schwartz tells Katie to stop being so emotionally entitled.
What the
I don't know what that means because Lala even's like, I don't know what all those words mean, but shut the fuck up.
Why can't she do what she wants, think about herself finally for once in her life? And what, that's emotionally entitled because she cares about herself?
Yeah, she bought the room.
I don't like that, like, selfishness is deemed a bad quality. There are times when selfishness like hurts other people and that's a negative quality. I agree. But caring for yourself is not a negative thing or emotionally entitled.
I fucking agree wholeheartedly.
It's called being a person and having emotions.
Agreed. Okay, so Katie's pissed. She gets up to leave. Schwartz, she thought like maybe once she divorced Schwartz, like he would maybe have her side because the pressure of being like husband and wife is no longer there. But still, like he does not have her side. It must be a Katie thing.
This broke my heart. He actually will never, ever not just choose her, but he always goes against her is the real thing.
He has such high expectations for her that he doesn't even hold.
That he doesn't do himself. Like she can't ever put herself first. She constantly has to be doing what other people want or need.
Yeah, she can never just be right. Or just be herself. Yeah, she can never just be herself. So Schwartz chases after Katie, and Katie's basically like, I need Sheena to apologize. And Schwartz is like, for what?
I was like, what do you mean for what?
Because then literally Tom is like, stop, don't do this. Bubba, come on. And you can tell Katie is just like, cut it out and like is holding back tears.
Yes.
And then Tom is like, okay, fine. You like look cute. And she's like, stop it. Stop it right now.
Stop. That is like love bombing. You're trying to like make things better by just like sweeping things under the rug and giving her a compliment. Do you think she's just some like prissy little, doesn't have actual thoughts or feelings? That you can just say you look cute and like, oh, everything's better.
Oh, I guess I'll go back inside.
I love when she's like, no, get out of here. Because he was like, oh, do you need help calling an Uber? Leave me alone.
No.
Truly get out of my eyesight.
So yeah, that's how it ends. And then we have the mid-season trailer, which we talked about on our pre-show, which is going to be free for everyone on the Patreon. Yes. So go check it out. Okay, and now we have Accepted and Blocked.
And what do you want to start with?
Doesn't matter.
Let's do blocked. I kind of want to end on a high note.
Okay, who are you blocking?
It's Raquel for me. I'm not liking this. I don't like how you think you're some big tough person in front of the guys. The like fake concern for James and him leaving boys' night. Like, you know why he's upset. It's because you are there. Like, you're his problem.
Yeah, and you can't keep being like, but we're gonna be around each other and stuff. No, shut the fuck up. Don't be around him.
There's a difference between being cordial and around each other at a pool party and crashing a boys' night.
Yeah,
like
agreed.
That's so different. And I don't like Raquel's version of sticking up for her is like calling people
names,
truly terrible names. This isn't like the funniness of James saying like, oh, she's DNS, she's dumb and stupid. Like, come on, a bimbo. What are we doing here? Come on. This is not a defense. Like, if you are hurt about stuff, like actually be able to talk it out and stop with calling people Chihuahua followers. No.
I don't even know what that means.
It's a no.
Mine is Schwartz. I think Schwartz is the biggest man baby in the entire fucking world. I hate him. And this whole argument with Katie just like fucking proves that. He is just
I'm so upset by it.
He's an absolute goddamn fucking nightmare. And he hyped up Raquel at the beginning of the episode, which is like not my vibe.
Do you think he'll have to answer for this argument at the reunion? Yes. I hope so. I need him to take some accountability.
Yes. Okay, let's do accepted.
I'm accepting Katie. I really love, I don't care if people think she's selfish, if she like is only thinking for herself, and I don't care if people are upset with her keeping the room over giving it to someone in Sheena's wedding. Like, I love Katie for the first time in her life, just doing things for her. Like, it doesn't matter.
Love that.
I don't think she's trying to, like, she didn't go to Sheena and say, I'm not ever going to give up this room, and like was mean about it. She was approached about the situation. I think she talked pretty calmly about like, listen, it's a non-refundable room. I'm going to keep it. Like, she was not mean about it. And even when she gets attacked, she's just like, nope, it just is. And I think she is sticking up for herself with Schwartz. And I think she needs to cut ties with Schwartz, if I'm honest. Like, this was so disheartening.
Agreed. I'm going to pick James.
Love.
I think James just had a good episode. He's funny. He's trying to stay away from Raquel. He's trying to be a good boyfriend to Allie.
But
he's
it's still entertaining, you know?
Still entertaining. He's telling Raquel, like, stop bringing me up. And she won't. So I pick James. I think he's
Love
great.
it. Love it a lot.
Okay, so now we have Podcast by the People. Okay, so we have Tracy. Tracy says James is the actual star of this episode. James coming into the fight with Lala and Rachel saying, you have always hated her, so leave me out of this, was hilarious.
Yes.
James just needs to realize that he and Katie should team up and he wouldn't be so left out. Oh my God, Tracy, get out of my head.
I think we're getting there. I think we're going to get it. I think not Katie rescues James, but I think they align. You know, they're an alliance.
Tracy, you know this is my dream. This is like all I've ever wanted. We
built up from it last season at that pickleball, you know, instance when like, I think Katie stood up for James or James stood up for Katie. Like that was the preview of what's to come.
Can you believe those two are like accepted this week too? Oh
wow. I didn't even note that.
Dynamic duo. Okay. Sarah commented and said, oh my God, I feel like a James and Katie team up would be like forces aligned. Literally, it's everyone. It's
written
like
in the stars.
It's Captain America and Super.
It's in the tarot cards.
It's in the tarot cards. All those tarot cards weren't actually about him and Allie. Him and Katie are twin flames, but in a friend way.
My God. Yes.
It's all about him and Katie. Okay, Tracy then says, Sheena's not coming at this the right way. She would be schmoozing Katie for the room, not acting entitled to the fucking room. Katie has no reason to give it up. No, absolutely. I think if Sheena came really apologetic and like really begged for the room.
That's the thing. Sheena didn't give Katie a reason to give up the room. And that's what you got to do. You got to think about your argument, not about like what you want. You got to think about how to get it. You know? Does that make sense?
I agree. Yeah, I agree. And then I think Katie would look kind of bad if she was like, no. I mean, I'd still
Mhm.
get it. I would still get not wanting to change your plans. Like, I
Yeah.
totally, but then I'd be like, oh, come on, Katie. But like this was not worth me changing my room.
No, no, no. There was no like guilt tripping Katie into it. And that's what
Yeah.
that's the angle you got to go for.
So also Katie ended it with Tom. Why did Tom think that getting back together was even close to a way
Gross.
of getting Katie to give up the room? I hate that he even said that. Yeah, it was awful. This is why I feel like Tom Schwartz this whole season has just been thinking, what's like a fun thing I could say on camera? And he like rehearses it and then says it and it never lands.
And it's like, Schwartz, you don't have that type of banter with Katie. You guys are in the middle of a fucking divorce, even if it's like going well. This is not something
Awful.
you do. I would literally burn him at the stake.
It was just hard to watch. Will Schwartz ever learn how to actually treat Katie like everyone else? Probably
No.
not. No, because he's the worst. P.S. I hated seeing Jax and Brittany. So glad they're not on the show anymore.
Couldn't even
oh my
watch
God.
it. Could not watch it personally.
I watch clips. I stand by Brittany's the reason Vanderpump Rules got bad for a while. I hate her somehow.
Oh, the one clip I did see is, or actually, I don't think this was on Watch What Happens Live. I think this was a interview they did with someone else. Somebody asked him like, "Oh, are you going to come back to Vanderpump Rules?" And Jack said, "Probably not that, but I've been trying to pitch like a parents, adults, version, and then like the younger people can still have Pump Rules." And he goes, "But I don't know what I can say. Like things are in the works, dude. Things have been quote unquote in the works for 3 years now."
They have a podcast. They're having a podcast. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. But I just don't think Bravo wants them back. What do they offer?
I'm surprised they even got on Watch What Happens Live. No one asked for it. No one wanted it.
It was definitely pre-taped, so I wonder if the flexibility of their schedule worked in favor, because they probably didn't want anyone on the actual cast doing an interview the night before, or like it aired the night before the reunion was taped.
Yeah. I don't know. Listen, like I said, I watched a bunch of clips. It was lackluster. Jax just knew Schwartz was always cheating. Remember Miami Girl? Oh my God.
Sandoval.
Or whatever. Fucking all of them.
Both of them were, let's be honest.
Whatchamacallit, they have a podcast coming out called, I think it's like When Reality Ends or something like that.
Well, that tells me they really don't have a new show in the works.
And I'm trying to think, there was nothing like crazy. Oh, Jack said like he said, he was like, of course Sandoval cheats on Ariana. Like, I knew this. And Brittany made it very clear she did not know this, or she would have gone to Ariana.
Yes, I'm glad she said that, because I do believe, like Brittany would do something.
I do too. Also watching them interact is so funny, because anything Brittany says, Jax is like talking over her immediately.
Gross.
It's like how we do, but we do it to each other.
Yeah,
we're not in a relationship.
Well, you're like,
dynamics.
We get so excited. I just did it. We get so excited about like responding, not overpowering what your thoughts are and like what you think, and trying to like correct your speak.
Yeah. Also, they play that game, Can You Defend Him or whatever?
God.
And Brittany could defend Jax on a fucking lot. And I was like, no.
There's very little.
I hated it.
Was the cheating on her with Faith thing in there?
No, but the chunky sweater fight with Frank was.
And that, like, I'll defend that. That was hilarious. Incredible.
He ruined a perfectly good chunky sweater.
I don't care. Remember he was going to have a sweater line come out, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, they buy them for Cruise now. Their kid.
Oh, God.
Okay, so next. Sarah says, I have several thoughts, but being me, it should be a shock to exactly nobody. The episode was kind of over very quickly, and it felt like a bit like a nothing sandwich. There were definitely good moments, but I'd personally lean towards this one being more filler than killer.
Agreed.
Also, in Australia, we appear to get Watch What Happens Live a day late. I do not understand why. Same day as the US, my ass. Oh my God, come on.
Well, it is in podcast form, so I think that's sometimes delayed, but just note you can always go listen to it in the audio format only.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I do that because I like to listen to podcasts quicker, so I can actually get through Watch What Happens Live in like 15 minutes.
Oh, wild. But anyway, the reason we're all here this evening, things Rachel had the audacity to do this episode. Number one, feeling like she was in the right to say, thank God you don't have a man,
No.
even if it weren't for all this Scandival business, it just sounds plain nasty.
Agreed.
Yeah, because they're not friends. If Meredith said this to me, I'd be like, good thing you don't have a man.
But again, it's like the right context, the right, like you said, relationship.
People,
yeah. But 90% of the time, the way you say this is going to be nasty.
Agreed. Okay, 2, arriving at Tom and Ariana's house in a swimsuit, even though the clock has maybe just started and it is a pool party. I don't care. I feel like being pretty petty tonight.
I'm gonna give her a pass on that one.
Pass on the
Sheena did
swimsuit?
too. I think Ariana was in a swimsuit already. I'm gonna let her go on that one.
I will also maybe let her go. Because maybe she was gonna go swimming. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe she was on our side of the pool party.
Listen,
we're gonna be pruny.
I would show up in my one piece because I'm playing mermaids, and you can't play mermaids in a bikini. Okay, number 3, prancing around the pool party like she's poolside Barbie. Yeah, that video is weird.
Hated it.
I hate influencers sometimes. Okay, 4, calling Lala Mistress Bimbo vibes. Like the pot isn't so black. It's basically turning everything that touches black too, or it touches black too.
Good point.
Yeah, this was awful. It's so funny because Raquel basically becomes all this shit.
I want her to answer for that part of it. It's like, you literally dragged Lala all season when she wasn't actively doing that stuff for doing this, and then you go ahead and either are doing it while you're saying this or shortly after start becoming a mistress.
Wild. Okay, number 5, dabbing. I don't need to say. Oh my God, the
Alicia.
dab literally set me into a frenzy. I'm still she was like, I love this new vibe, dab. And I was like, what the fuck, girl?
Gross.
So 6, telling Schwartz that he'd be selling his soul if he got back together with Katie. Rude. Even though he's a moron for saying offer to get back with her. Like, boys, sit down. Agreed. Why is this selling your soul? He was married to her for like 5-6 years already.
It's just, I feel like Raquel is trying to get anything. It's one of those things where if you have nothing to actually argue about, you've got to scrape the bottom of the barrel. So just don't say anything at all.
Yeah, just shut the fuck up, basically. Just shut the fuck up.
These are really petty little things that she's saying. And I hate it. I hate it so much. She hates being attacked by these girls, but she is doing it actually worse. Like, none of this stuff has value. The audacity is all I can say. The audacity.
While we're on the topic of audacity, thanks Tom Sandoval had the audacity to do this episode.
Oh, I can't wait for this.
Smooching Ariana. He doesn't deserve her smooches.
No,
never. Telling Rachel that James is invited, but not telling James himself. I put this on his list rather than hers, even though she said it and I nearly fell off my chair.
But you're right, it's his responsibility.
When the name Sandoval came out of her mouth.
And James in his interview being like, I can't believe she knew.
Yeah, Sandoval told her, not me, and I'm supposed to be Sandoval's friend.
Yeah.
Okay, 3, wearing the lightning bolt necklace. We could ignore this.
Oh, wait, this is him, right? Not her?
Yeah.
Okay.
We could ignore this, seeing that the necklace currently means nothing, but the fact that it became sketchy makes it extra slimy. Yeah. Talk about ruining lightning bolts for everyone. I'm telling you, Harry Potter is ruined.
It is true. It is interesting to see him wear it, even if we're not in the affair yet. I just can't wait to see if she wears it this season.
I can't wait. I hope they wear it to the reunion and everyone just fucking loses their whole mind.
I can't wait for their sidestepping, being like, are you guys a couple? And they're going to be like, I mean, we haven't decided anything about our future. We're not
defining the relationship.
We're just trying to handle our responsibilities and apologize.
Number 4, arguing with Katie when it's none of his business. Was his dislike of Katie this prevalent in the early seasons? Yes. If you go back and watch.
And like, look at it with Stassi.
Yes. He hates everyone. Okay. And other general notes I have. James saying, guys' night means nothing. I actually love his brand of passive aggression. This is exactly how I would do it if I felt pushed to the point. James also kind of reminds me of my sibling if my sibling were a straight guy, which they aren't. Perhaps this is why I think James is kind of a lovable dickhead. He is. He's the most lovable dickhead.
And like him being younger than people, it just is a good dynamic because like I can always give him a pass because of his age. Because you know what, all these other people did this stuff when they were this age.
All these other people still do this shit, and they're like 40.
I should give Raquel more of a pass on some things, but I just need her to be better at it. You know,
girls should, I don't know, be better.
Take some classes on argumentative.
I don't know. I just there's something not lovable about Raquel. There's something very lovable about James.
It's forced.
But
James just rolls off the tongue.
Like we used to love Raquel. We used to be like, yeah, baby.
And by used to, for one season. I liked her last season.
I started rooting for her when she came out in that ugly ass dress for the reunion. But
now I hate it.
Just yelled at her.
Yes.
So, but now I'm done. Okay. Yeah. When Schwartz talked about how Rachel was kind of hot or something in his confessional, I literally chuckled to myself.
Gross.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw up.
LOL at Lala behaving like a nervous girl around that guy. It was like Christina Kelly and Katie were the angels on her shoulder. The guy himself was so cringy, I couldn't handle it. I thought the guy was cool.
I think the situation was cringy. I don't think he was.
The cringy part is when he's like, I think they were talking about pizza when he was like,
oh,
do you like it cold? And she's like, no, I like it hot. And he's like, you like it hot? And I was like, ew.
Yeah, but I get like you're trying to flirt. Like, has he had a few drinks?
But awful.
When you watch it with sober eyes, and Lala is the sober eyes too, like
it's awful.
It's awkward, and that's why she was so nervous.
LOL, or wait, no, not that one. We did that. Okay, all the astrology stuff with James and Allie. I felt like half the time James wasn't really paying attention. It doesn't really make sense to me either. I tried to teach myself all about how it's meant to work, this planets in the house and stuff, but I think I did it wrong because it really didn't take. Yeah, James I don't think cares. I think he's doing it for Allie, who he cares about.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. And I would be told that's a very Scorpio thing of me to say. Whatever.
Fine. I know nothing. If people talked, I'm willing to like hear about it, but I'll forget it all the minute it passes.
Same.
I'll hold on to one thing, like Same. The houses thing. I don't even know if that's right. I might have just made that up.
I don't know. Can we have a moment to talk about Schwartz's reaction with Lisa? Or hang on, can we take a moment to talk about Schwartz's reaction? Was Lisa talked about him going naked? I laughed so hard. I imagine he react the same way if she said she wanted to see him naked. Wait, what part was this? Did I miss it?
I missed it too.
Oh man, good catch. You gotta let us know, Sarah. Come back and let me know what that means.
Yeah, give us the details and we'll read it on the top of the next podcast.
Yes. So it was kind of nice to see Sheena being normal and not a meddling kid, but I think it's the bridesmaid's fault for not booking the room earlier.
Yes.
This assuming she was a last minute bridesmaid. Oh.
But also, no, I don't think so. I think her name's Jenna. I think we've heard about Jenna.
Jamie. We've heard about Jenna. Oh, Jamie's different.
I think it's the bridesmaid's fault.
Yeah. It was good of Brock to suggest buying the room back, but I do think Sheena went around it the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
It is Katie's right to refuse the offer, and she is correct to say it isn't her problem. Sheena can't be mad at her for refusing. That being said, if I were Katie, I'd either keep the room but not hang around the resort for the wedding, or I'd say to Sheena, if you can find me a room just as good in a different resort for the price, you can have my room. I think that's fair. That's fair.
I'd take a higher offer, but Sheena would have to come to me with a good pitch. Like, you can't piss me off and then try to buy me out of it. Like Ariana coming later being like, what's your price? No. See, you've already fired me up. I'm definitely not doing it now.
I was loving the female energy about the sandwich shop. It felt very positive and uplifting. We all have to go support the sandwich shop. We only eat here in LA.
I really enjoy actually the constant theme of the restaurant industry in the show. I feel like we're getting back to the working aspect of this that we don't get in a lot of other shows. Like, and like Southern Charm, we get a little bit about their work stuff, but the fact that these people all share an industry, like, yes, James is a DJ, but he DJs at bars and restaurants, you know?
Yeah.
I just love it. And I think it's a really cool storyline that overlaps in so many ways.
I agree. James mentioned a few times about how Rachel is trying to take his place in the group, etc. I don't actually think I don't think this is actually true, but I do think he's feeling insecure about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're actively like, don't invite James, invite Raquel.
And I don't think she could ever replace him, but I think she is replacing his status in the group. Does that make sense? Like she's more of a go-to, where in his mind, like these are my friends. Like that I should have more sway and more pull in this group than my ex-fiance.
Yeah, and I get that. And finally, the mid-season trailer. When I watched it here in Australia, I noticed that it was different than what I watched on Instagram. Was it the same for you guys? Yeah, it was the same. What'd you get that we didn't get?
Yeah, let us know. I want to know what was different.
Same.
I might have to get a VPN going and like search some Australia stuff.
Anyways, I'm dumb. Or oh my God, I keep saying that. Well, I'm dumb, me. I'm done now. I'm going back to write student reports and shrinking my other responsibilities. Love you guys. Love being a patron. Bye. Bye, Sarah.
Thank you for all of that.
And our last one is Tyranny. She says, Sarah literally said all my thoughts. I will add a few, though, because why the hell not? My jaw dropped when Rachel had the audacity to tell James about the party. Like, what the actual fuck? It felt like she was definitely throwing shade to James. Oh, and can we discuss Ariana's defense of Rachel? I really have been trying not to allow present feelings sneak in, but oh my God, in her best Janice from Friends impression.
Oh, love.
Rachel seriously has so much nerve. I'm wondering if they re-edited the scene where Sandoval defended Rachel to Katie. No, I don't think so. I think that was
I don't think so either. I think the only stuff they would have edited were Sandoval's looks at guys' night.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe like a few moments at like that pool party with the tanning scene just to give them moments together.
Yeah.
But I think this episode would be the first that's re-edited for the drama.
And I think that fight we're gonna keep in anyway because we know Sandoval and Katie hate each other.
Yes, yeah, that discussion would have been included anyways. Like Sandoval intervened in it.
Okay, so going into Sheena's storyline for the wedding, I didn't expect anything less than Sheena trying to bully Katie into giving her her room for her bridesmaids who didn't book her room until 2 weeks before the wedding. My cousin is getting married in Spain in October, and we literally have had our hotel reserved already because that's what people do. And if this bridesmaid was a replacement bridesmaid, why wouldn't she be able to get the old one's room?
Oh, good point.
Anyway, back to Sheena and the wedding. Let's be real. We saw her first wedding where she basically turned into a spoiled child because the wedding planner didn't time the entrance to the music. And she not only did it once, but twice. Once during the ceremony and then again at the reception, just so she and Shay could have their moves, which were horrible. Yeah, Sheena's a bridezilla.
She is. Sheena's very like, when the attention is on her, she is going to soak up every ounce of it.
For sure. She's good as gold, baby. I can go on, but I'll leave this as the last thought. Schwartz calling Katie bub, thinking that would get her to see Sheena's side.
Right?
Like, dude, she's divorcing your ass. Do you really think calling her that would work? Fuck off. Okay, this ended up being longer than I thought, but I needed my weekly rant. No, but honestly, Schwartz sucks.
Yeah, like you both are trying to kind of hold on to this best friends thing and hold on to the bub thing. And when you use it kind of against her, trying to like manipulate her into stuff, you're actually gonna ruin the like Bubba name. Like she's not gonna want that anymore. So if you want to continue this friendship, shut the fuck up and sit down.
Truly. Also, she's adding one more thing because she watched it again and her friend pointed out. Did everyone notice that Rachel didn't say Ariana and Tom Sandoval's, just Sandoval's? Yes.
I did know that.
I did say, like, why didn't she say both?
Because Ariana said she's having a pool party to get her fun back.
Yeah, but now it's Sandoval's. Of course he has to fucking make it his own.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we did it. Hip hip hooray. Do all the things,
rate, review, subscribe, join our Patreon, and listen, we have a free episode out, so just at least go to the patron website and listen to our mid-season review.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys. Bye.